Hello everyone, welcome to It's Crochet O'Clock. My name is Stephanie and today we are going to be learning about the V cluster stitch. This stitch is really neat. It combines two traditional stitches, a V stitch and a cluster stitch, and it's actually a very traditional stitch within itself. I have learned, I've been researching vintage patterns over the past week, and I've seen this stitch done quite a few times in vintage patterns, and I just think that it's lovely. You can make blankets out of this. Lots of people make V-stitch blankets, but the cluster stitch gives it a little bit more depth and a little bit more coverage than a normal V-stitch. So let's get to it. This is Paintbox Simply DK yarn, and I am going to be using a Tulip 5mm hook for the project. And I've already worked up this sample, and because I didn't want to show you working over these, because with traditional V-stitches you go into the V's that you create and that's how you build up. I've done a row of single crochets across the top, so we can show you how to work your first row of V-stitches. And for this one I am just going to chain up 3 without losing my hook. It's a bit early on in the video for me to be losing hooks, isn't it? Here we go. And now I am going to work in the next stitch. Right here I will yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. I'll have 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2. That will leave 2 loops on the hook. Now I'm going to yarn over once more and insert into that same stitch. Yarn over, pull up, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all of them. Now that's the first part of the V-stitch. This is our first cluster. And I am going to chain 1. Some designers chain 2 here. You just have to pay attention at the beginning of your pattern. If you are following a pattern, they will tell you how big they want your cluster to be, whether it be 2 or 3 incomplete double crochets. And they will also tell you how many chains to put in. I am just using 1 for this one. So I'm going to do the second part of the V, which is another cluster. So I will insert back into that same stitch, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over. Now I'm going to go right back into that stitch one last time, bring it up, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all of them. And that is our first V cluster stitch. Now, because we have I have created 3 stitches up at the top, so I have to compensate for that when I'm working across here, or else we'll get a half moon shape in our work. So if you aren't following a pattern and you just want to make your own afghan or lapghan, remember that you've created 3 stitches where there was only 1. So I'm going to yarn over and I am going to skip 2 spaces here, and I'm going to work into this 3rd space, and then I'm going to repeat what I have just done. I am going to make my first cluster here, all working into this same space. There's my first cluster, chain 1. Now I need to make my second cluster. And there is my second V cluster stitch. I'm going to show this to you one more time. Now remember, we're going to skip 2 spaces just so I don't end up with my numbers going crazy. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert into that same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all of them. It's the first leg of our V. We will chain 1. Now we're going to work back into that same stitch, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert into that same space one more time, yarn over, pull up, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all of them. And that is how you work a V cluster stitch. Whenever you get to the end and you start your next row, your V's will end up being placed in the top, these chain 1 spaces that we created. Or somebody might get creative and a pattern might call for them to go here. There's just no telling. There's lots of possibilities with this stitch. So I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.